Hello, everyone. Welcome. On behalf of the whole Google for Education team, we'd like to say congratulations and welcome to the Google for Education Certified Trainer Program. My name is Alina Politzer, and this is Justin Lakeup. We're both here to present to you throughout our Welcome Hangout. So just first and foremost, before we start, thank you for all of your hard work that you put into your applications and the requirements of being part of this growing program. We know that a lot of you put a lot of hard work into it, which really shown through in your applications. And we are so excited about all of you joining us. We truly believe that trainers are the catalyst for getting more educators inspired and empowered to use technology in the classroom. So with that said, throughout the next hour, we will be using this YouTube live link or Hangout on air. And if you have any questions come up throughout, please use the chat feature, which I think most of you have already found over here on the right-hand side of the YouTube Live. And we'll collect questions throughout. We might not answer them right away, but we will be monitoring the questions throughout the event. And at the very end of the presentation, we'll review the questions on the page and answer any of the popular ones that stand out. So please feel free to put in placeholders there. Joining us today, we have onboarded 250 new certified trainers in the last, usually we do it per quarter, but we just sent out the acceptances for January yesterday, and I know a number of you wanted to join us today. So welcome to everybody. We have about 65% of new trainers this quarter are in the US, and about 35% are coming from other countries, including Australia, Bangladesh, Brazil, Canada, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Egypt, Finland, Hong Kong, Laos, Malaysia, Mexico, New Zealand, Peru, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Scotland, South Korea, Spain, Sweden, Thailand, and the United Kingdom. I always like going through all of them because we truly would love to further build out our presence across the globe, and it's really important for us to see how much we're spread across the whole world. So welcome, and thank you to some of those of you who are tuning in outside of the US. I know it could be late at night or early in the morning for you, so thank you for tuning in. And for those of you that are listening to this after the fact, welcome as well. So this Hangout is set up specifically for all of the new certified trainers who were onboarded in the last couple of months. And then the goal of today is really to help get you familiar with the community and to meet some new faces. I know some of you have already been poking around our private trainer site or our Google group, but hopefully this will give you a good grounding for what to do in the next year, if not many more years to come, we hope. So we'll start off by introducing your Google team in Mountain View, and we'll introduce our featured certified trainers who are joining us on this call. Then Justin will give you a glimpse into the background and history of the program, as well as do a little deep dive into the meat and potatoes of the program and the benefits that you'll be receiving. We'll, of course, bring out our featured certified trainers and have them speak about their experiences being in the program, as well as give you some words of wisdom. And then from there, I'll highlight some popular topics and hope to anticipate a lot of your frequently asked questions, as well as give you a glimpse into the future of the program. And then we'll wrap up with that Q&A that I told you about. So to give you an idea, your two main Google points of contact are me, the voice that you're hearing, Alina Politzer, I'm the Certified Trainer Program Manager, and Justin Lakeup, who you'll hear from very shortly. He is the community manager across many of our programs. So those of you that are also GEG leaders, certified innovators, and parts of our other programs would probably hear from him as well in those other capacities. So we will be your go-to Googler contacts if you need anything and you can't find any answers on the private trainers site or the Google group. Please feel free to reach out to us. These are the two aliases that we respond to. And please make sure to always contact us through these aliases, because it's not just us two responding, especially if one of us is on vacation or something like that. We want to make sure that you get your questions answered. So, oh, and just for your reference, we are both based out of California and in the Pacific time zone. So sometimes it might take us longer to get back to you based off of that. Also joining us today are some wonderful featured certified trainers. There is Federico Centeno, who's a technology coach, and I will let them all introduce themselves in a little bit. Kimber Johnson, who's a director of technology, and Ney Belanzaran, who is a teacher and academic leader. Um, so to kick us off, I did want to center us all around our shared mission for the entire Google for Education Certified Trainer program. Our mission is to train, develop, and support educators to reach their full potential by redefining teaching and learning through the use of technology. So as you'll see, as you meet many, many more trainers, everyone, the whole community consists of really passionate and creative individuals who provide professional development and other support services to educators and schools. I really look forward to all of you meeting each other and more certified trainers, but it's good to know that we all have this shared mission in common. Now, Justin will walk you through some of the main steps that you'll need to do in order to get started if you haven't already.
Cool. Thank you, Elena. So these 6 steps are on the private trainer site and also linked off your onboarding email. And you can find everything you need to know to start the program on this page. This URL was given to you in your acceptance email. And on this trainer site, you can view the Getting Started guide under the Home tab. The Getting Started guide consists of 6 steps that will help you become an outstanding trainer. In case you haven't completed these steps yet, we'll go ahead and dig into to explain each step. Step 1, review program guidelines. This 5-page document gives you the whole scoop of the program. It lists a program overview and expectations, which is what we expect out of you as a trainer. This includes submitting training sessions, staying up to date with the latest features, and participating in the community. We'll talk more about your expectations as a certified trainer later on in this Hangout. It also lists program policies that outline some standards you need to keep as a representative of Google. And lastly, we mentioned what happens if you fail to abide to these program guidelines. Step 2, read badge and logo guidelines and download them. This document is on the private trainer resource site, and it will show you what you can do, what you must do, and what you agree you will not do with a trainer badge. This document is extremely important as you'll want to know and be very careful with how you use this badge. Step 3, read branding guidelines. These guidelines directly point out what to do with the Google for Education Certified Trainer brand, Google brand, and Google trademarks. Google is very serious about our brand. All of our brand features are protected by applicable trademark, copyright, and other intellectual property laws. Please ensure that you're using the correct brand in your work. Step 4, get listed in the trainer directory. Google for Education has launched our online directory that will feature profiles for all Google for Education certified innovators, certified trainers, and PD partners. This platform will be an excellent resource for teachers, schools, potential employers, and others within the Google community who will want to connect with local Google for Education leaders. If you would like to be featured on this platform, please fill out the fields provided in this form. Your most updated information is necessary for others to find you. Also, note that we will update this platform every 3 to 4 weeks. If you do not see your updates reflected online, it means that something went wrong and you'll need to fill out the form again in its entirety. Step 5, post an intro on the forum. This is a step I've already seen many of you do. This is a great way to get yourself out to the group and tell all about 3,000 trainers about yourself. This is the same group where you can communicate easily with other trainers and share resources with each other. Step 6, steps to a G Suite training domain. We can upgrade your training domain to G Suite for Education. This will allow you to have a separate domain for demos and training purposes. The page on the trainer site has very specific and detailed steps you'll need to take to successfully have your domain set up online. The step that many people stumble on is the verification phase. All 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 domains must be verified from the Google from our Google team before our team upgrades your training domain to G Suite. If you're having trouble with this process, please visit the private trainer site to watch a video series from your fellow trainer, Louis, where he takes you through the step-by-step process. Note that this is not a requirement for trainers. This is just one of the many perks this program has. And now I want to bring on our featured certified trainers who will be talking to you about their experiences and their advice they have for you in this program. So let me switch gears here and introduce Federico. He will first introduce himself and then talk about what his favorite part of the program is. Hey, Federico, I think you're muted.
Yeah, it was muted. Thanks. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the trainer program. I think everybody's going to find something very helpful here. It's a very helpful community. I myself am a certified trainer, and I also work as a technology coach. And I also work with a Google for Education partner here in Colombia in South America. I hope that everybody will find something very useful in this community. I'm pretty sure that it's something that you will notice, that everybody here is always willing to help out, and you'll find a great group of people who are always interested in helping you out in the same way in which you will be helping out others become better at the use of technology in education.
Cool, thank you. And now we have Kimber.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kimber Johnston. I am currently serving as the Director of Technology for the Prentice School, which is a kinder through eighth grade school serving students with learning disabilities in Orange County, California. I really love the Google community as a whole. And in terms of the Google Certified Trainer Program, I think my favorite part is the sense of community, both the actual community online and just the sense of community that we can build. I think we've all heard the saying that the smartest person in the room is the room. And the Google Certified Trainer group is a very smart room. So it's really nice to be able to pull from the shared experiences of so many colleagues who have both common and uncommon experiences with you. I think you'll find sort of no matter what your questions are, there's always somebody there who's experienced something different or has a different perspective. And I find it to be like a really rich and rewarding community to be part of.
Thank you. Yeah, I do also agree with Kimber. If you guys go to the Google group, there's hundreds and thousands of messages and threads in there that are organized by product and topic. So most likely, if you have a picture or if you have a question that you guys have, those questions are already answered in the Google group. So take the time to go through those topics to see if you guys have anything that you have a question about. Now we have Nai.
Hi guys, hello from Mexico. My name is Nai, and I've been a certified trainer for about 2 years now, I think. Yeah, and what I like the most about the project is the community itself, just like Fede and Kimber were saying, is just having, knowing that you have this support 24/7, no matter what, and there are always resources available. And my favorite part too is just working with teachers and learning from them, because you may have a perspective on how to use the tool, but when you go to different schools or when you're helping teachers who are in other fields, you realize that the possibilities are endless. So that's my favorite part, just learning and helping teachers develop these integration of all the G Suite tools into their classrooms, no matter what level, no matter the type of devices they have, no matter what language. It's just amazing to see all the work our community is doing and sharing it throughout the entire world.
Great. Thank you so much, Nai. And now I want to ask these trainers, what piece of advice would you like to give to these new certified trainers that just joined the program these past few months? We'll start off with Federico.
Okay. Well, maybe going along with the same line of talking about how important the community is. I think that something that you should always be on the lookout is for people who can maybe join your community. You know, if you see somebody who has the potential, who's doing like a good job, who's got, let's say, maybe the skills to and is willing to help people out, maybe encourage them to follow this professional development path. And also, if maybe there are other people already, there's already some groups set up where you are, maybe try and join them. Everybody's very open to you know, when you message them, hey, can we work together? And I think that's something that I would encourage people to do so that, you know, that you can have a greater impact.
Thank you. And now, Kimber.
Hi again. So the advice that I would give would just be for you not to get too busy to be involved. I feel like there's two sides to this. One, if you're staying kind of up to date with the group online and sort of skimming the hot topics and responses, you sort of never know when you're going to need that information. And then you'll spend less time looking for it when you actually need it. But I think the flip side is in terms of providing support, because all of us have different strengths and needs, and we're all sort of in different places along our kind of path to Google them. And it's really nice to be able to like give a helping hand to somebody who really needs it.
Thank you, Kimber. And now, finally, Nai.
My advice is, if you guys haven't worked with adults before, make sure you get some strategies, because it's way different than what we do with kids. I've been a teacher for 10 years, and when I started mentoring other teachers and doing the certification process with them, I felt I was starting from zero. So make sure you guys get some strategies for working with adults, and just change your game, because it's really, really different. We all have different learning styles, but we have our own skills and abilities, which is not the same as, once again, working with kids. So just make sure you guys know your audience and always do some kind of pre-test to see where you're standing, because you might be surprised of how different it is.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tanai, Federico, and Kimber for those wise words of wisdom. I think many of you will hear similar things across the certified training community, so I love how much everyone is learning from everybody else. So moving on now, you have a number of benefits that you get from being in this community. These are all the benefits that you can and should take advantage of, and they're also listed, just so you know, at g.co/edu certified trainer, which is the link that you'll probably use to get into the program to begin with. But if you are having any issues with either getting your digital badge, getting into the EDU directory, seeing the shared resources database, or the learning and development series that we have recently started, your demo domain, getting into the Google group, or any of that, just let us know at the email address that we presented in the beginning. We'll present again at the end of this. So to cover a few of those, the first is definitely don't reinvent the wheel. Obviously, there are a number of trainings that you, like all the trainings that you do, you will need to personalize for the environment and for the certain set of teachers and individuals that you are training. That said, most trainers will leverage either the work that's already done by Google on the Teacher Center, so you can have the over 70 lessons that many of you have already probably seen, but you can use those when training, developing trainings yourself. And then the other one is the shared resource database, which is resources submitted by fellow certified trainers, many of whom have probably already trained on the topic that you're trying to train on, so you can leverage what they've already done in, again, personalizing that content for whatever it is that you're trying to build out next. The second one is it's really important that you measure your impact on the EDU activity app. So you will be using the EDU activity app to record all of your training sessions in order to get credit for recertification. In addition to getting credit for recertification, at Google, we use a lot of the data that comes from what you log in order to reach back out and give certain opportunities to people. So we see, you know, those that have recently, or that have done like 10 trainings on Jamboard specifically, we reach back out to them for certain opportunities with that product team, as an example. For those of you that are also other Google for Education community leaders, you probably are already familiar with this app to report your activities, such as GEG leaders, PD partners, certified innovators. And everybody on this call should have already gotten an invite with this information on how to access the app. If you're having any issues, please go to the EDU activity app specific page on the private trainer site where you can find a link to the help center. Of course, if you can't find it or for whatever reason have a question that's not on there, contact us. There's also a support form there. If you didn't receive an invite for some reason, please fill that out. And of course, check your spam folder first, because sometimes that ends up there somehow. This is information, so obviously we strongly believe across Google, this is how we find a huge number of amazing employees, is that we strongly believe that great people know other great people. So I'm sure many of you have someone in mind that could benefit from this program. Please do refer them. One note on this, I know many people that have grown their own communities of trainers and what I call trainer advocates within their school districts or their schools to try and basically lighten the load for themselves and create this whole community of people that are all working together towards that same goal. Lastly, aside from all the amazing content in the Teacher Center to help others get L1 and L2 certified, for example, there are many other great resources that you can find on the private trainers site that we keep building out. One of those is this program called Train the Trainer. So if you want to take on a leadership project within either your individual school or systems of schools, this is a plan that will help you create change by building a whole team of certified trainers across that school network. And that way you can help not only full-time ed tech coach type roles, but also teachers and staff become technology coaches as part of their jobs by following this easy to use step-by-step guide to identify and train teachers who want to be like you. And then we can also help you by planning and implementing certain PD plans across your whole district. So again, reach out with any questions about this resource. And not only reach out to us, but also, again, on that private Google group, there are a ton of your fellow trainers who have run these previously who you can also learn from. I did see on the chat that there were some questions about recertification. I don't believe there's anyone on here that needs to go through recertification at this moment, because those who were onboarded in November and December don't need to go through recertification for 2019. And if you were just onboarded in January, then you're doing great. You don't need to recertify until the end of the year, until the end of 2019. But this is good for you to be aware of. So at bare minimum, you need to complete 12 training sessions. And those all, the way we know that you completed them is through logging it on the activity app. We understand that there are some people that are, doing 50 to 100 trainings per year. And for those, we're trying to build out a more robust way of logging each of those trainings instead of just one by one. And we also understand that there are people that for you, 12 trainings is a lot. So there are I know somebody else asked a question in terms of what counts as a training. And it really is a broad range of activities that count as trainings, from one-to-one coaching to one-to-many activities, and both in person and online or virtual support, or office hours. Any of that is included. So if you have any doubts there, we have a full list on the private trainer site, but also, again, feel free to reach out to us. So in addition to that, it's sharing a resource on the shared resource database, passing the yearly product update exam to make sure that which we always send out a study guide for. So it's just good to know to stay on top of all of your product updates, your branding updates, etc. And then, of course, following the program guidelines that Justin had already gone through in terms of making sure that, you're on board there. So finally, we now have our Q&A portion of the Hangout. I see there are a few additional questions. I've tried to answer most of them. I covered recertification. For the EDU directory, there were a few questions about that. I wanted to let you all know that Justin just covered, and what's on our private trainer site is the current workflow for the directory. We are relaunching the directory to be a more improved workflow this quarter. So you all will actually get a notification, an email from us in the next week or so about those changes that are coming. So if you haven't already submitted your form into the directory yet, I recommend waiting a week or two, because we're about to send you an updated workflow. And let me see what are the other questions about what counts as a training. Google for trainer site looks like it was last updated. The trainer site should have been updated before 2017. I see that link. Thank you. We will change that link. I'm not sure where that link is buried, actually, but Hannah, your link to one specific part of the trainer site, we will definitely update. Thank you. Kara asks, where can we access our certified educator badges? Or yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so the badges are located on the private trainer site under tools and resources, and then you'll see a subpage there entitled badge and logo, and there you can find the badge guidelines, and then at the very bottom there are the files there that you could download. Feel free to print them or just add them to your signature, but there are 3 files at the very bottom that you could download and use.
Thank you. Teaching a group of students how to use Google for Education kits. No, generally, teaching students does not count as a trainer, because you are a Google for Education certified trainer for teachers. However, for example, if you are co-teaching with another teacher, or you are asking a teacher to come in and observe the way that you would roll out a certain Google for Education product, that does count. So you can then, when you're logging the training, you can count, you could say, there was 1 teacher present, however, there were 50 students or 20 students or something like that, or multiple teachers present. That's the way that I would recommend using that. If you're on parental leave, you can definitely email us to be put on hold during that time period. And the training domain, we have to purchase a domain and then turn it into a Google Apps for Education domain. All of the information on the training domain. Yeah,
is also under tools and resources, under training domains. Again, there's a link there that has like a YouTube a video series that a certified trainer goes through like a step-by-step process of how to get onboarded into that perk. But if anything comes up and you're still unable to access it, please email our program alias, and most likely I'll reach out to see what's wrong.
Yep. And you do need to have your own domain name, but then exactly, you follow the steps that are there, and that turns it into a free Google Apps for Education account. The training domain, we have full access to the admin console. Yep. Yep. Again, on the training domain, you have full access to the admin console. just like you would for any other Google Apps for Education domain. Okay, looks like more training domain. Will you share the aliases to reach you again? And oh, yes. There you go. There's the alias to reach us, and I'll type it out here.
GFE-trainer-program at google.com. And this alias is also on your onboarding email.
Yes, as is the link to the team. I will add the link right now to the private trainer site.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other questions?
Again, if you guys go to the Google group, there's a ton of topics and questions that have already been answered. So take the time to go through those different pages and topics to see if you guys have anything that you're interested in there.
Kara Carr asks if we can only log trainings taking place after today's date. No, you can definitely log trainings earlier than this, of course.
Yeah.
Just because we're doing the Hangout today doesn't mean that that's the only day that starts counting. Definitely counts from the moment you were onboarded.
Yep. And for the trainings that will count for recertification, it will count. So, for example, this group of trainers will recertify in December 2019 and January 2020. We'll only count the trainings that have been done in 2019.
And Megan, to your question, if you're recertifying for 2018, then the 2018 ones count. Yeah.
Also, too, on the private trainer site, there's a link there for the recertification page that goes into detail, like each step. Also linked in there is a FAQ page. So any questions that you might have will most likely already be answered on that document.
And then to the question around 2 trainers sharing the same domain for trainings, I haven't seen that before, just because you both do get the benefit of having your own training domains. But if you want to share them, go ahead, by all means. Again, we see plenty of certified trainers that really work in pairs or groups. And if you have best practices around that you want to share in the Google group, I'm sure other people would love to hear it. Yeah, so if that works out for you, figure it out, try it out, and then feel free to share it if it's working really well with you.
Yeah. I think that is it. Again, I want to thank our certified trainers that are joining us on this call, Nai, Federico, and Kimber. So it was really great to hear and see you guys come on this Hangout. And for any other questions, please feel free to email the program alias at gfe-trainer-program@google.com.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. Have a lovely day.
Bye. Thank you. Wherever you are. Bye.
Bye.